Thankfully, I don't think any of the Reiwa era Super Sentai are outright bad, and out of 6, that's pretty good. Remember, these are just my opinion, so I am not wrong. Put your list in the comments below, and if you want a recap or more of my thoughts on these shows, I have a playlist about them in the description. The worst I have to say about a show as a show in this era is that it can be just okay. Maybe I'm giving too much leeway here, cause I also just feel a little bad for Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. Celebrating the anniversary of Super Sentai comes with a lot of expectations, especially when the high point for anniversaries is Kaiskou Sentai Gokaiger. And we're basically never getting that again unless the planets align just right, and once Super Sentai comes back from hiatus. Thankfully, Zenkaiger does its own thing, while keeping the anniversary themes as just that, simple themes. Sentai gears give a nod to the team as power-ups, characters and stories are inspired by previous seasons, and we have little to no cameos. I feel like that last point gives Zenkaiger way too much flack, when again, this is not supposed to be Gokaiger 2, and I respect it for trying to do its own thing. Those things, however, end up just being okay. The things that do stand out among some of the best in the series. Stacy is an incredible character, from villain to anti-hero to hero. Kaito, Zox, and Flint are very lovable. The journey of Kaito finding his parents is one of my favorite plots because it pans out throughout the show with great pacing. Zenkaiger is also just pretty funny to me. Then there's everything else. Dude, honestly, I forgot about most of these characters except for Judon. Hold on, who's that pink girl? The show had a pink ranger? To me, Zenkaiger just isn't all that memorable as a whole. I love that I was able to watch it with my wife, and I did have a good time, but I guess it wasn't my thing at the end of the day. The characters are alright. The villains are alright. The overall story is alright. It's a full power world, and it's all alright.
Look at the top of his head!
What the hell did I just watch? A show about nothing? That's Avatar Sentai Donbrothers, and I love it for being so unapologetic. Written by Kamen Rider Kaiza's husband, Toshiki Inoi's tropes are all here, and bigger than ever. There was an interview with Inoi where he said that Donbrothers and Kamen Rider Fives were written to focus on characters, except Donbrothers didn't have a storyline to follow. His words, not mine. Who am I to argue with the writer of the show? Cause I agree. The character drama is so good, as each of our rangers have incredible plot threads only in their own bubble, not caring about what's going on outside of their cone. Oh yeah, that's a good way to put it. The apathy of everything outside the drama is, again, so unapologetic that it has my utmost respect. Toys are thrown in only because the Toei overlords demand it. Villains outside our main group exist to fill time, and dude, the Sixth Ranger feels like he's thrown aside for other characters the moment he's introduced. The funniest thing to me is how many people wanted explanations for everything, but that's kinda what makes the show so great. We get all these hints of lore, world building, plot threads that could lead to bigger things, but nope, I love Donbrothers for that. If the characters weren't as great as they are, then I'd probably complain too, but man, the characters really are that fantastic. Anyone who hates Donbrothers doesn't like having fun and eats unbuttered toast. Don brothers, don brothers. Are those wheels on their face? That's pretty cool. Bakuage Sentai Boonboomger. Weirdly enough, out of all the Reiwa Sentai, this was the one I was excited for the most, and I think it was purely because of those suits. I truly don't understand how anyone can hate these. Having a different texture is definitely not enough to carry a design, so it's a good thing the rest of the designs are really cool. Another reason I like Boonboomger is more personal. It's the year that Keza, Thomas, and I got closer. Together we made Tonkatsu, and this was the year we met up at Paramorphicon. Truly very special. Okay, suits and cheesiness aside, this is gonna sound ironic. I like Boonboomger for being a little basic. Zenkaiger was alright, but not basic. It still had a lot of Sentai anniversary themes, which were only alright. Okay, I'll stop saying that. Boonboomger feels like it takes a step back in the best way. No major anniversary themes like Zenkaiger. No chaotic non-linear storytelling like Donbrothers. Just a team trying to get by day to day and save the world from space Michael Jackson. Notice I said major anniversary themes, because Boonboomger does have some cameos, ironically more than Zenkaiger did. but I think Boonboomger did it much better. The show does one of my favorite things in Toku, where the first half is episodic, then the second half or final quarter is serialized. Loosely, to an extent. Taiya's main goal is to create a team for the desired the Big Bang Grand Prix as a promise to his robot pal Boonboomger. And that's about it for a while. Boonboomger's episodic side is so fun, with incredible and new stories to tell. There are your typical lessons of the day, and then there are some quite powerful episodes that not only have a lesson to tell, but also dive deeper into our characters. I personally really like Taiya as a Red because he's a smart leader, while allowing his team to have their own growth. Taiya has the perfect amount of focus as well as leadership. The rest of the team may seem a little basic as well, but they all have that one extra quirk or small storyline that makes them stand out. I think I can say that about Boonboomger as a whole. It is a little basic, but it also gives just enough to be memorable, special, and most of all, don't stop the boom boom. As if you couldn't tell and you reached this far, first off, thank you. Secondly, yes, I have very, very clear biases, but I feel like I can still see the good, or bad, in these shows. While I don't mind episodic shows, I much prefer serialized ones. Super Sentai is usually on the episodic side with smaller, separate arcs outside of basic plot. Nothing wrong with that, of course. Ranger is still one of my favorite Sentai ever. However, when Sentai does something outside its expected tropes, there comes not only certain expectations, but also an understanding of the ambition placed on it. Just hearing all of that might already tell you what I'm placing here. Osama Sentai King-Ohger can be described with one word: ambitious. A story that takes place on a different planet, mostly done with new technology and old techniques. The large scale is already impressive, but we still have a show to watch, and it's pretty good. Ambition can only take you so far, since there still needs to be a story, characters, and action to go along with everything else. The serialized story of King-Ohger might seem as basic as any other Sentai. Our team of Rangers have to defeat the evil Bugnaroks. At the same time, there's a conspiracy happening within the kingdoms. I'll stop there as to not spoil anything, but the twists are more than worth watching. Plus, something halfway through happens that blew my mind. I asked myself, wait, Super Sentai can just do that in the middle of the season? Ambition and story aside, I think the characters are great too. Gita is a bit different from your typical Red, as in, I don't think he's a very good Red at all, and that is what makes him so interesting. Somehow, despite Gita's Gita-ness, he's what holds the team together. Oh yeah, they're not even fully a Sentai until later into the show, and that's yet another interesting element. Each character is so distinct and their stories are so good, I can't just choose my favorite one in the season. Not to mention that the 6th Ranger is one of my favorites ever. Dang man, I still feel the hype I did when I first started watching. King-Ohger is truly royalty. Okay, so as much as I like and love the past entries, I wouldn't put most of them in my top 10 favorite seasons. Maybe on a good day I'd say King-Ohger, but these last two are definitely there. Regular viewers of my channel know that I really don't like recency bias. If I talk about recent shows, then I try not to say a definitive opinion just yet. At most, I'll give a general, yeah, I like it, or no, I didn't like it so far. Number 1 Sentai Go-Juger is, well, at this time I still can't find the proper word. It's odd. For everything it does right, it takes a few steps back. For everything it makes looks cool, there's an odd creative decision that stops me from loving an episode. From the usage of generative AI, not within the in-universe context of the show, to the treatment of its characters and cast, there are very unfortunate elements that I can't ignore, especially with what's been happening behind the scenes. However, just looking at Go-Juger as a show, it's really good. It's beyond messy and seemingly unsalvageable, but I can't help but to love it. The premise is already pretty cool. A ring battle between universe warriors to determine who becomes number 1. Except the premise is more like an afterthought in the background since we don't actually get that many battles between them. It's kind of funny that we see universe warriors and sometimes they even become allies, but not all of them end in fights for the rings. Some are just given to the character who learned the lesson of the week. I don't think our Red is even that good. Horu gives me Gita vibes in the way Gita haters see him as. Horu isn't much of a leader. I don't find his story entertaining, and TBH, I kind of forgot about him at times. And those are all good. Horu isn't supposed to be a leader. The rest of the team are fighting for the rings. His story is that he's alone, without the need of the supporting cast, and when we don't see him, we still get amazing stories with our other characters. Horu never really wanted to be number one, but soon he was given the chance to learn what being number one really means. All that is just a basic plot, as the rest of our cast is fantastic. Universe Reds aren't always in the forefront, but they do add to the growth of our characters. And the villains, oh dude, I think Brighton might be one of my favorite villain groups. Bouquet and Fire Candle carry so much on their backs, we might as well call this, AI Sentai Brightonger. Oh, yeah. Again, it's unfortunate this show has a lot of real-world issues, and I won't ignore them either. Every time I bring up Gojuger, I'll mention how badly Maya Imamori was treated by her agency. And sure, I think the show does become worse off by it, but this is a real person. If it weren't for the real-world issues, I'd say Gojuger could become my number one Sentai, but for now, it's number 2. It should be pretty obvious what my favorite Reiwa Sentai is. My regular viewers know about this show because I talk about it non-stop, but for new viewers, well, there's a reason why I've been wearing this since the beginning. That's right, it's Baguage Sentai Boonboomger again. Of course, it's Machin Sentai Kira Major. Every compliment I had in the past 5 entries applies here. I love every character, every arc, every storyline, every action scene, every interaction, everything. In my Kira Major video, half of the darn thing was just me gassing it up. But alright, let's say you're new here and you're still not understanding my hype. Let me get a little deeper. At first, Kira Major may seem super basic. Yeah, there's nothing more than that. Kira Major is basic. It was meant to be a return to its roots from the Showa era, all the way back from the first team, he meets a Sentai Goranger. And that's a quote from the producers. Kira Major does feel very Showa-esque, but created with modern techniques and storytelling in mind. While episodic for the most part, there are certain arcs that come in and out, and yes, they're that good. I think most, if not all, lessons of the week here are new ideas. Plus the characters, once again, work together beautifully. Juru is one of my favorite Reds. He's out of his element as a Red, being reluctant of his role, but knowing exactly what to say to his new friends to make them better people. They all constantly work in union, some of the best teamwork I've seen in Sentai. You know, the franchise all about teamwork. The 6th Ranger is great. Yodona is a fan favorite for a reason. Oh my gosh, the endgame is gorgeous. Senna is my favorite Super Sentai Ranger ever. Each episode is lovingly crafted to make the viewer happy and shining, striving for a better tomorrow. Kira Major delivered hope in a dark time, and it pushed through all the hardships. Kira Major is special, and it's my favorite Sentai of all time. I'll never stop talking about Super Sentai. It was the very first tokusatsu I fell in love with outside of Power Rangers. And yeah, I have a lot of Sentai videos to catch up on. So, until the next time we meet, our multicolored spandex heroes. Thank you, Super Sentai.